Hi ladies, it's Stacy here and Sugar obviously. So I told you guys I would make a video about how I hostess coach. So I started this back in April after national training. I went to a seminar by Cindy Faulkner, which you guys know I'm like kind of in love with. And I had the pleasure of spending the weekend with her team. And this just really reinforced that this is the best way that I've found so far to hostess coach. So for those of you girls who are a little bit newer and might not know what hostess coaching means, this basically means how do you get your hostess to work with you? The best way for her to get free stuff is to have a good sized party, to have her be excited and have her talking about our products and just about pure romance in general. And the best way to do that is to be engaged with her. What I do with my hostesses is when I book a party with them in the shopping room, first thing that happens when they come in the shopping room is the first thing I always ask is, did you have a good time? 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you yes. I'm working on kind of revamping how I do my shopping room experience. And when I do that, I will go ahead and let you guys know the changes that I make on that. But the first thing I always ask her is, did you have a good time? This opens the door to talking about having her own party. If she had a good time, 90% of women book parties with us because they want to have a good time. We are women. We are stressed. We have a lot going on all the time. Go ahead, Bo. So pure romance is a great way for our customers and women in general to just get to enjoy themselves. And so I always use that as my first starting point. If a woman on the back of her card circles anything more than a 1, I'm talking to her about booking a party. She might not want to do it then. She might say, I have to get back to you, anything like that. But what I always do is I offer them 2 to 3 dates that I have available. And the reason I do this is because we have too much going on in our heads. If you say, do you want to have a party? Okay, great. What day works? They're going to give you every reason not to book it. I need to talk to my friends. I have to see if my husband can take my kids, X, Y, and Z. The best thing that I have found is basically I say, okay, great, you want to book a party? So do weeknights or weekends work better for you? And then I give them 2 available dates, and I give them the dates that are closest in my calendar that I'm looking to book. So today is November 5th. If I have a party tomorrow night and she says, I really want to have a party. All right, great, Susie. That sounds good. Do you have weeknights work better for you, or are weekends better? If she says weekends, I have an opening next Friday. Yep, it's a week away. I'm still offering it to her. Women don't need as much time to plan as we act like we do. The further out you get, the more cancellations you're going to see. And I will tell you this, after 3.5 years in the business, the further out I schedule, the more cancellations I see. So I book out no more than 2 months. If she says, well, I want to have a party at after the first of the year, I always tell them, okay, great. Then when I start booking January, I'll contact you and I'll make a note on the card. Wants to party in January. Weeknights work better, whatever it might be. So that is the best way that I've found to have women commit. I offer the women to book the party right in the room. And I do that because, again, they're buying in, they're more excited. They just got done with the party. They just had fun with you and with all of their friends. They're more excited then. So once we nail down the date, I say, okay, great. With all my hostesses, I like to do a 10-minute phone call. And then from there, we figure out what the best way for communication is. I schedule that phone call within the week. So usually if I have a Saturday party, I'm trying to do the phone call either Sunday or Monday. Sometimes that doesn't work for the women, but I always do it within that week. Again, the further out you get, the less excited they get, and they're more apt to cancel on you. So I give them the hostess packet. I write the date of the party, and then at the top I put phone call with me Sunday 2 p.m., whatever it might be. Okay. So how do I structure that phone call? So basically this form is located on the Sassy Sweetheart page. I will show you. Let me just share my screen with you guys here real quick. Okay. All right. So if you go to, okay, sorry, I have like 90 things going on here. If you go to Files and you scroll down and find, I think I did it at the June party or June meeting. June. Hostess Coaching form. Okay. So I will pull that up for you guys. Okay, and what this form is going to do is you are making this party about your hostess. It's not about you. You need to build a relationship because just like anywhere else, you have more of your hostess is going to work with you better if she feels like you guys are friends, if she can trust you, not if you're just there to sell her a bunch of stuff, okay? So this first part is rapport building. You guys know that I'm a therapist, and rapport building is the number one thing in a therapeutic relationship. It's the number one thing in any sort of relationship that you have. So again, I got this from Cindy Faulkner, and this is talking about her. So when I call her, I say, hey, Susie, does this time still work great for you? Okay, cool. So it'll take just about 10 minutes. And what I like to do is I like to get to know my hostesses better. I like to have an idea of the woman that I'm going to be engaging with for the next 4 weeks or however long till the party. So I say, why don't you tell me a little bit about your family? Who lives in your house? What keeps you busy during the day? I don't say, what's your occupation? What's your family like? I don't ask that. I put it in my own words. I ask her, what do you like to do for fun? This gives you an idea also of what it is what kind of party you have a bigger probability of having. So if she says, well, my girlfriends and I, we like to go out to the bars and we like to drink and do this and do that, you have a better chance that party is going to be a little bit louder and a little bit crazier. If you have a girl who says, well, I don't have a lot of time for fun, that's telling you that you better make this night count because she doesn't get out much. She's giving you 3 to 4 hours of her life that's scheduled to a T. She's offering that time for you, so you need to make it count. And then lastly, desire. Why did you choose to host? The answer I hear mostly is, I had so much fun at Jessica's party or whoever's party it is that you met her at, or I just had so much on my wish list and I just couldn't get it all. So, but again, I don't just ask these like, what's your family? What's your occupation? What's your recreation? These are just the points to start the conversation. I ask more questions. I stay engaged. The main thing you want to do with your hostess is you want to ask questions. This is about her, not about you. You are going to spend much more time listening than you are going to talk on this conversation, okay? The second part is great expectations. First thing I do is I make sure that I always, always, always reiterate, like, our main goal is not only to have fun, but to get you the largest shopping spree possible. We want to get you free stuff. Then I tell my hostess, like I said at Jessica's party, on average, my hostesses get anywhere between $60 to $150 in free product. I go over any incentives or discounts that I might have used to book. I don't do these a lot, but some girls do. So if she happened to book on like what you might consider one of your hot dates, like you're doubling her party sales, I just go over all of that. And I also go over if there's a minimum at that point. So sometimes when I do incentives, I say you have to have a $500 party to qualify for this. I make sure to let them know this stuff. I talk about my reschedule policy. Basically, this is my full-time job. This is how I pay my bills. So I'm asking if something comes up because life happens. I need to know 2 weeks in advance so that we can get you a better date. party details, I need a separate room for ordering. If you do a table, you need to let them know you need a table. I always ask if I can park in the driveway since I carry a large inventory. And again, this is where I reiterate, no men, no children, no babies. I say this probably 2 to 3 times in this phone call. I tell her again, the more women that show, the more fun and free stuff that you're going to have. Focus on having 20 women tell you yes, because a third are going to back out the last minute or they won't show up. So it's always good to over-invite and not prejudge. And this is where I go over the hostess packet, which I'll be sharing with you guys in just a second what my hostess packet looks like. And then I always tell them, you know, pure romance is triple E, not triple X. So what that means is don't prejudge anybody. You had so much fun at the party. If I remember right, you bought Coochie and Body Dew and our body silk. You didn't, you know, you were more focused in the beauty section. So don't think that, you know, your grandma might not want to come to this party, because I'll tell you what, my grandma uses my products. My dad uses our products. You know, our products are much more than just sex toys. So this is when I really go in and talk about educating, empowering, and entertaining. It also gives me the place to plant the seeds about Pure Romance being a great company and organization to work for. This part, honestly, I spend about 2 to 3 minutes on, because I am trying not to talk as much on this conversation as I am trying to listen. I ask if she's thought about a theme in my hostess packet. I give a list of themes that I've done before, so she has a chance for that. I talk to her about what products that she's looking to get for free. If she says, I don't know, I haven't even had a chance really to think about it, I always tell her, okay, I'll get back to you within the week and you can let me know, because I like to make sure that for sure my hostesses have their products the night of their party. Tell me about 3 women you're inviting. So this gives you an idea of what you're walking into. Are you walking into her sisters? Are you walking into work people? Are you walking into a big group of people? I know the first party I ever had, I had women from my previous job, my current job, from grad school. I had my friends. I had my ex's brother's girlfriends there. Like, I had a lot of women there. So it's a good idea to get what kind of group that you're having. And then I ask if there's any concerns. I ask, do you have any friends that might have any allergies, sensitive to smell? Do you have women that are a little more on the conservative side that you're worried about? Do you have some women that are going to be so loud and crazy that I just need to be prepared so that I know how to work with them? And then this last part is great initiative. This is me telling her that, and I remember this from when I first started, there was someone on the Bliss page that she used to say that she would tell their hostesses, okay, so for the next 4 weeks, we're going to be dating. You and I are going to stay in touch. What's the best form of communication? Do you like text, Facebook, phone call, email? What works best from you from here on out? If we've set on days that I'm going to specifically talk to her, like if she didn't know what products she wanted, I told her I'd get back with her in a week. This is where I'm going to write that. I talk about my incentives for guests to bring guests. I write down if the hostess packet got sent or when I gave it to her. All those things. Those are all ways for me to keep track of what it is that I'm doing. All of these things are me taking initiative for this party, because while you're having the hostess help you, it's still your pocketbook. It's still your wallet that you're trying to fill. So you should not be putting all of the pressure on her, because if you're doing that, you're not working your business. You're going to have the most successful party when you're hostess and you are working together as a team, and when you're taking that initiative to make it easy as possible for your hostess. Okay? So that is how I think, Alexis, you asked how it is that I keep from having a flop party. Don't get me wrong, I still walk into parties where I have 3 girls and it's a $150 party. That's fine. That's 3 more girls that I wouldn't have talked to if I sat on my couch. Sometimes it happens. I've had small parties where it ended up that I booked another party and I signed one of the girls. There's lots of different things that come out of that. Do I have bad parties still? Yeah, I do. And you're going to. Everybody in this business does. But I know when I walk out of that party, did I do everything that I could have? And if I can confidently say, yes, I did, I hostess coached the best that I could, then I'm not mad, because I did what I could, and I still am giving the opportunity to other women. I am still empowering and educating them, and I am still touching lives of women that that I wouldn't have met otherwise. And then as far as my hostess packet goes, let me just come back here real quick. So all my hostess packet is up on the Sassy Sweetheart page again. Sorry guys, my computer's running really slow here. I have too many things open. So again, if you go to files and you scroll down, my whole hostess packet starts with hostess. These are the things I put in the packet. My packet is pretty extensive. Not all consultants use as much stuff as I do. I have went back and forth with what I use, what I don't. It's what works for you. These are the things that I have found works the best with me. And because I'm making that 10-minute phone call and I'm going over the packet with them while we're on the phone, I feel confident with what I have in my packet right now. Another thing I want to tell you guys about these hostess party squares, I want you to look at those. I want you to look at all of these and see what works for you and what doesn't. And the hostess party squares is just another way to get the hostess more excited. She is going to sell these squares. Let me open it, I guess. She is going to sell these squares. These squares, anyone can buy. It doesn't just have to be people that are at the party. She sells them for $2 a piece. And the more that gets sold, the bigger prize it is that I raffle away. So if she sells all the squares, she gets an extra $25 in hostess credit. That's what I do. Other women give those towards total party sales. They give half that amount in product, whatever it is that works the best for you. So if she gets all these filled, that's $100. If I'm raffling off something, even when all 100 get sold, I've been raffling off Bob because I bought a ton of Bobs when they went on sale. It's an $89 vibrator that women are getting that I probably only spent about $16 on. So it's about what works for you and making sure that it's still a great gift. Like, get women excited. I have hostesses that are so competitive about this. They want that extra $25 in hostess credit. They want to make sure all of these get sold. I have girls posted on their Facebook event, all things like that. That's another thing. As far as coaching your hostesses, I make all of my hostesses party events on Facebook. I don't have her do that. I make it. That way I'm controlling the group. I make her an admin on it so she can invite all her friends, but that way I know all the information for my business and for what I want them to know about Pure Romance is included in the description, but also it gives me the chance to go in and stay active on that page. I'm the most active about a week and a half beforehand. I try and post in there at least once to twice a day, just different things, different specials I run about the opportunity. I post my social media information on there so they can add me before the party. But really what I'm doing is I'm staying engaged. And then what I'm starting to do now is to message all the women that are on the event, whether they say yes, maybe, or they don't answer. I respond to them, or I message all of them individually, and I say, hey girl, I saw that you couldn't make Susie's party. I'm really sorry I'm not going to get a chance to meet you. I did just want to touch base with you and see if there's anything that you wanted to order to help her party sales out so she gets more free product, or see if you're interested in hosting your own party. And by this point, she's been on the page long enough that she sees that I am engaged. She knows a little bit more about me. I'm not just some chick that's like, hey, buy some stuff from me. Okay, that's my biggest thing. I have a really, really high return rate on my customers, whether it's returning hostesses, returning customers. I have people who move out of state that still buy from me. Heather Hashman, hey, I know I give you a shout out like all the time, but she's now on our team. She lives in Texas. I met her at a party when she went to Eastern. She continued to buy from me for about a year, and finally decided to take the plunge. So we have team members that are in Texas now because of the relationship that I build with my customers. I don't see them as customers. They become friends. Not all of them, but I make my very best effort to do that. The other question someone asked is, how do I book more parties? Pick up the phone. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I'm not saying texting. I'm not saying Facebook messaging. I'm saying call people, because they're going to hear how excited you are, and they're going to be more excited too. When you send a text, that can be misconstrued. It can be avoided. Do I get voicemail? Yeah, all the time. But they still hear the excitement in my voice. During the booking blitz, I actually called people versus texting, and I think I booked 19 parties. Yeah, call people. They're more excited and they will buy in more because you're taking it more seriously. Do I have social anxiety? Yes, I do. Do I hate the telephone? Yes, I do. I hate the telephone. Hate it. I hate it. But you know what? I like money and I like my job. So I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call. The only time that I Facebook message girls is on my personal Facebook. Girls who I might have went to high school with, who I don't really talk to anymore, so I don't have their phone numbers to call. I send a message. Hey, I just wanted to, and I engage with them at all times. This isn't just girls who like I'm friends with, who I haven't talked to, whatever. I like people's pictures. I stay engaged with them, especially if they already have a party on the books with me. That month leading up to their party, I'm liking all their stuff. I'm commenting on their stuff, because that becomes, you're building a relationship. That's a number one thing I can tell you about Hostess Coaching, is build that relationship. Do I still have cancellations? Yes, it's going to happen. Since I implemented this in April, I can tell you my cancellation rate, though, has went significantly down. And those girls who do end up having to cancel because something came up or their attendance wasn't where they wanted it to be or whatever, I've at least stayed in enough contact with them that I've been able to turn them into online parties, which I wasn't doing before. So that's a really quick summary on how I hostess coach. It's obviously not as in depth as what I do. If you have more questions, please feel free to let me know. But I hope this gives you a good start. If you take only one thing away from this, please let it be to build those relationships. Okay? You don't want to be the sales girl. You want to be their friend. You want to be somebody that they trust. So go ahead and do that. And really just stay engaged, stay positive. This was not built overnight. I've been in the business for 3.5 years. And I still want to grow. My business still isn't where I would like it to be, but I'm still working and I'm still learning. And that's the other thing. Keep doing what you need to do. Keep working your business. Closed mouths don't get fed. They don't. Keep talking about it. Keep being happy. Keep being positive. Know that I know I posted this in the group before, but Coca-Cola, the first year in their business, sold 25 bottles. That's it. 25. I think they're doing okay now. Just saying. So stick with it. This business will not be built overnight, just like any other business that you might start. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And happy bookings.